Are you wanting to get better at catching bass offshore on a highland reservoir? If you're a beginner or an advanced angler, this video is for you. I'm going to go over my process of finding and catching bass offshore on highland impoundments, and also going to share how I've updated my process in the recent year. Guys, let's go get into it. Guys, I've been catching bass offshore for a very, very long time. Gone from the 2D sonar to the full outside imaging, down imaging, now having forward-facing sonar. So I've adapted of how I've gone and located and found these bass fast and effectively. And something with bass fishing, guys, it changes over time. You can't just always use your strategies and techniques from 20 years ago to today to still work, and no matter what you do. So guys, the three main things, the three steps of finding bass offshore, where you look at a part of a map, where you're looking at a map, looking at a specific area, one of the first things I like to look for is the structure that is there. Structure meaning points, structure meaning flats, drains, okay? Creek channel, channel swing points. That's the first step, is kind of looking at where these bass could go. Because guys, no matter where you're highland impoundment, no matter when you're fishing, one thing that I always like to do is follow them creek channels. Follow that main lake channel to the creek channels, to the drains. Those right there is one of the first kind of steps I like to look for, because those little channels are where those fish, bait fish can travel, bass can travel, and other types of species as well. So on your structure, look at where your channels are located, and then look at for the areas of where those fish can be. The second one is guys, understanding your type of forage in your lake. Is it bait fish, brim, and crawfish? That's one that on my lakes that we have, okay? Now on the lakes that I got, guys, there's not big bait fish populations. I know we talk about looking for the bait fish, looking here. Guys in Texas, where y'all have those lowland reservoirs, and y'all's highland too, y'all have bait fish everywhere. A lake like I'm at right now, Washita, I might go a whole 8 hours and never see bait fish, okay? And so my other guys, depending where you're at in the country, I've had people message me like, hey, I can't find the bait fish. Guys, that's one thing I'm going to get into here in a little bit, is if you can't find the bait fish, what do you do? So guys, understand your forage in your lake. The third one then is understanding your pieces of cover that your body of water offers. Typically for highland reservoirs, you're going to have standing timber, you're going to have rock, okay? That's your two big ones. Brush piles, homemade brush piles that have just fallen in from the lake, trees that have fallen in. And then one other piece of cover, just at the top of my head, that like Washita has, is submergent grass. Talking hydrilla, milfoil. Some lakes have them, some lakes don't. Lakes like Table Rock, Lake of Ozarks, they don't have them. And so if your lake has that cover, it's a whole nother element. Washita, Table Rock, two different animals, okay? Plus, guys, just think of it this way too, depending where you're at, because my Beaver Lake guys that are going to watch understand this, my Arkansas guys understand this, but Table Rock guys, you don't. Your lakes are different because we have stripers, hybrids in our lakes. They get stocked. Beaver Lake gets stocked with stripers. DeGray Lake here in Arkansas, stocked with hybrids. If your lake has the striper bass, hybrid bass population, that can change also of where your bass can be caught offshore, okay? Table Rock and Lake of, I don't know about Lake of Ozarks, I don't think it does, but Table Rock does not have stripers stocked. So those fish act and just are different, because those bass are the main predators in those bodies of water compared to Washita and DeGray, where those hybrids run the place. So you got to have understanding of your lake. Now I know there's still stripers in Table Rock and bull shows, guys. I mean, it's different, okay? Those lakes are deeper, just a little different animal, but I'm just kind of talking amongst all of you watching. Our lakes are all different. So now, guys, understanding those three things right there, okay? Once again, understand your structure, your forage, and then understanding the pieces of cover around. Okay, guys, we're gonna look at some maps real quick. I got a section of bull shoals right here that I think would be great to talk about and discuss here. Then I'm gonna go to Lake Washita. Then after this segment, we're gonna go to the new updated part of finding the bass offshore, okay? This is the new added addition to it. So guys, like here we are. I'm right now at Bull Shoals. I'm in a creek. I don't even know the name of this creek. And guys that know me, I guess Wolf Creek, Mountain Creek, okay? But guys that know me, I've never fished on Bull Shoals. So I'm just going to go through like breaking this area down. So now, before forward-facing sonar, you know, trying to find bass off. Guys, I'm just going to share with you about something that I offers, my on-the-water electronic lessons. I get in your boat for a 6 to 8 hour period or 4 hour period, depending how you want to do it. Set up your units and teach you how to use them. We'll go out and try to find some fish offshore and catch them. And guys, this could be either forward-facing sonar specific, or it could be the whole realm. I've done on-the-water lessons for even people without forward-facing sonar for a variety of type of lessons. If you're interested, check out my Jimmy Eastling Fishing Facebook page. The link to it will be down below. Offshore, I mean, look, these are some deep creeks right here, deep kind of sections, and then, you know, you have your points. You do have these drains, points. It shows a roadbed with a bridge, which I don't know if this is a legit bridge or not, due to sometimes those bridges are silted in or they're not there much anymore. Like I said, I don't know this part of the lake. But like right here, there's no flats. There are no humps. You do have like a long point, but like really like these lakes, like these highland reservoirs, I mean, it's really points, secondary points. Channel swing points, as you're seeing right here, is a lot of channel swing points, and we're going to talk about that. And drains, that's it. Like, there's not much structure in this lake, these type of lakes. So with it is now, before you go up here, graph these points, and I know before forward-facing sonar, a big thing, and you still need to understand, is reading current and understand the current flow. So here we have a creek here, we have a creek here, and they kind of have a little meet here, and this is a deeper saddle, so this is a potential current spot. There's somewhere these fish could set up here. It comes back around, that creek comes through, you have that channel right here coming up against this, and there's another potential current spot here as well. And then it shows that roadbed going up here, so you have different types of rock as well. So there's somewhere out here these fish will set up on. And then, you know, here that creek comes down, there's that roadbed going across that point. I mean, but like, this is stuff that anybody can pick out now with as much information we have. But then it's trying to find these spot on the spot. And looking at Google Earth, it's all rock. All rock. You know, you kind of have this rounded point right here, and this is a low water image, I'm thinking. But you kind of look for these little areas, these little divots right here, to potentially find bass where they go in that offshore time here when that post-spawn period that's coming up. So I made this video because I want it to be a post-spawn kind of video to the summer offshore deal. Because when it gets real summer and that thermocline gets set up, then that's a whole nother animal. But right now, with this time of the year coming up, there's no thermocline. They can go anywhere. So back to this, you know, you would graph, try to find the bait fish. And like, this is a lot of rock. It's hard to see them on the bottom, right? So you try to find the bait fish. It shows there's flooded timber up here. There might be timber in these drains. And now, like I said, the guys, I know that's hard. Like you know, that's hard. And you're like, Jimmy, that's really, really deep. Well, that's where forward-facing sonar does come into play that we're going to talk about. So after understanding, one thing I know that we've always preached on is going out and graphing and using your electronics. Going out and graphing. What I like to do, guys, is you can say, look at a creek and then start graphing, looking for that forage. If you find the bait fish, you're going to find the bass. And we've learned that with forward-facing sonar. So then you're like, Jimmy, let's say I graphed 3 creeks. I've graphed them from front to back, not seen bait fish. I want to fish. It's hard for me to sit here for so long and look at this unit. Guys, that's where the next updated phase comes in, because I get that, okay? I'm over here like, hey, in a lake like I'm at right now, you might not find the bait fish. You might go 4 or 5 hours, like I said, or a whole day and not find bait fish. That's where you utilize your forward-facing sonar. So, but guys, a lot of you think, or a lot of people out there just say, oh, you drop it in the middle of the creek and find the bass. No, guys. You can use your forward-facing sonar, as I've learned. If you understand bass behavior, bass movement, you will still find them in areas that you caught them at before, okay? But let's say you do put that thing down in the middle of the creek. If you find them out there suspended, hey, that's great. Go catch them, okay? Those fish will go out there, by the way. But what I'm going to try to teach, guys, is using it to look off the end of points that are near the ditches. If you do have a hump, okay, and there's that channel swing by, it is just a flat hump, go up there and see where they are. That's the updated part with this, is you still can idle and find them on your side scan, down scan. But a lake that's a highland reservoir, as a lot of you guys understand, no, it's steep, it's deep, it's hard to see them on side scan. You can find them on down scan and 2D, but guys, utilize your forward facing sonar, put it down, put your range to 100, 120, and start looking. You can put that trolling motor up, you know, depending on your speed, 4 out of 5, 80 out of 100, depending where you go, and then having lures there available. But guys, you don't gotta just find fish in the middle. You can still see them on points. You can see them shallow, okay? And you can see them around them channel bend rocks. Sometimes, guys, it's hard to see bass on the rock. They get so close to it. But if you see a channel bend point that's rock, you throw your jig up there and you're working it and you're looking down, you see them fish come up and follow it. Now you know they're there. So utilize the forward facing sonar. That's my updated thing that I've been doing, is going out and looking. But once again, guys, on these highland reservoirs, I try to stay around those channels to where they go to the drains, but look for some of them sweet spots to where the channel can split on a point, to where that channel bends right up there along the point or along a rock wall. You can still utilize this and find these bass offshore. But like at the lake I'm at today, there's not many spots for them to go. It's going to be either out there in the timber or off the edge of points. Now here we are at Lake Ouachita, where I'm at today in this video, and I did mostly graphing and then putting my live scope down and searching, and ended up finding some groups of fish, but I could not get them to bite, which is part of it, because this day I was out here, guys, for 3 hours. It was post front, 30-mile-per-hour winds. Yep, 30-mile-per-hour winds. And so my plan was to kind of get in these creeks and graph and just kind of, you know, search it out. So I was in here today, and look, not much action, guys. I mean, look, we just have a deep creek. There's a point, deep creek. Now there's timber all through it. Have a little saddle. Have this island. You have areas out here they could go on. These humps. Okay. Now there's grass out here, which is that other piece of covers I talk about. That's an animal. But this day, guys, like I said, this was all getting blown on, and it was just nasty out there. This creek, which I found fish in this creek. I like this. And I'm saying fish does get caught on this. I didn't even look at this day due to the weather, and it was, like I said, nasty. But it showed a road bed, and I kind of thought I found part of it around this area. Just it was different. It was a little rockier out there in that depth. But like I said, sometimes, guys, stuff gets, you know, silted in. But guys, there was timber from here on all the way through. And I did find fish in this timber out here, even this time, along this ditch, okay? So that's one thing. It's like, look, there's nowhere for them to go, and they're out here, okay? Now, there's a little flatter point here, and there's grass up here. You have these points here, these little drains. But that's one thing about with forward-facing sonar now. We can maybe used to see them on down imaging 2D and know they're there, but now we find where fish go in new groups of fish with the forward-facing sonar. And for me today, I'm in a section of the lake, guys, to where, I mean, this is 30-mile-per-hour wind, if y'all couldn't tell a minute ago. I'm trying to get out of the wind. And so with that, with me getting out of the wind, I'm limited on my creeks. I have a couple creeks, and they're just long, flat creeks with some points. And there's not many places they can go, okay, guys? So utilize the forward-facing sonar, okay? Baits, guys, is going to be typical on your time of the year. You know, for me, like if I'm going to be simple on the baits, I know post spawn's coming up through the summer, and I'm going to make more videos on fishing offshore, but a deep diving crankbait when that post spawn comes is going to be good. I'm going to stick to the new jig head minnow thing, okay? Guys, a jerk bait, a jig, big worm when that summer comes, Carolina rig, kind of just, you know, pick you a couple baits you're comfortable with when fishing offshore, okay? Guys, let me know what you think about this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it and learned something from it today. Once again, have any questions, leave it down there in the comments. Appreciate it, and hey, we'll see you on the next one.